What's up guys, this is Danny from Rethink Peer-to-Peer Lending. Welcome back to another portfolio update on my channel. Today we look at the performance of my outstanding peer-to-peer portfolio in August, as well as discuss the most recent events that have happened in the industry. A particular focus will be on some annual reports which have recently been published, including the ones of Income Marketplace, LANDE and HeavyFinance. For daily news from the world of peer-to-peer lending, I highly recommend that you either subscribe to my Telegram or my WhatsApp channel to not miss out on the latest updates. In August, I was able to earn 825 euros from my outstanding peer-to-peer portfolio, which is the second highest income that I have been able to generate from my peer-to-peer investments, both historically and this year. New personal best income numbers came in last month on Income Marketplace with 144 euro and on HeavyFinance with 37 euro. Worth mentioning is my first Esto coupon rate, which has been paid on Mintos, as well as my strongly cashback driven income on Debitum. The best overall performance in my portfolio is once again delivered by Income Marketplace with 13.37%, followed by PeerBerry with 12.11% and Via Invest with 11.16%. The red lantern remains with Estate Guru, where my total return dropped to now 6.11%. In August, I had a total of 3 transactions in my peer-to-peer portfolio. I deposited 2,000 euro on Esketit to take advantage of the increasing loan supply, with a particular focus on the longer-term EUR assets from Czech Republic. Another 1,000 euro have been deposited on Debitum to further increase my portfolio and to benefit from the cashback campaign of Sandbox Funding. On the other side, I withdrew 500 euro from Profitus. As discussed in the previous portfolio update, I want to decrease the amount of actively managed platforms in my portfolio, which is why I will exit my investments on Profitus and Fintown for the time being. The value of my outstanding peer-to-peer portfolio increased to 100,803 euro in August, which marks the first time ever that I am crossing the 100,000 euro threshold after almost 7 years of investing in peer-to-peer. Obviously, this is not a big surprise anymore, as this has been a long time coming, and yet I can tell you this still feels very much unreal to suddenly have a 6-figure peer-to-peer portfolio. And actually throughout the summer weeks, I was reflecting a lot on this goal and this target and this milestone, which I have achieved now, a 100,000 euro peer-to-peer portfolio. And for this occasion, I have decided that I want to share a special video with you for this occasion, where I want to reflect on the journey that I have been through for the past almost 7 years and the lessons I have learned along the way. So I have a rough structure for this video in mind, but if you guys want to contribute in any shape or form by submitting some questions, maybe something that you want to know about my journey that I have been through with peer-to-peer lending in the past almost 7 years, then feel free to ask me and write your questions in the comments below, and maybe I will pick them up in one of the upcoming videos. Alright, but for now, let's move on with some updates that have recently happened in the industry. PeerBerry is still trying to match the high demand from investors, which is why 2 new lending companies of Aventus Group have recently been added to the marketplace. Both lenders were only founded last year and still have a manageable portfolio size of only 300,000 euros each, which is why investors shouldn't expect a bigger jump on the supply side by those 2 newcomers, at least not in the near future. Something both lenders have in common is the classic buyback and group guarantee issued by the Aventus Group, as well as the interest rate, which is below 10%. As you probably know, this is a non-negotiable border for me personally, which is why both new lenders will not become a part of my roster for the time being. Surprisingly enough, a platform with a much bigger supply recently is Esketit. While the primary market seemed to be an empty wasteland in the first half of the year, the supply situation has improved massively in recent months. So instead of manual investments via secondary market, investors are now free to choose lenders according to their preferences. Personally, I have taken advantage of the situation and deposited 2,000 euros in August to collect some Czech EUR assets with terms between 8 to 12 months. The overall picture on Esketit looks extremely positive as well, with investor assets under management growing from 39 to now 50 million euro in the last 3 months, which indicates that demand from investors remains high. A strong supply and demand situation is also showcasing on income marketplace as well, with investor assets under management growing from 8.7 to now 15.7 million euro in the last 6 months. Despite the lack of new lenders, the supply on the primary market remains high, which could lead to further growth on the marketplace. With a slight delay, Income has recently published their business numbers for 2023. According to those, the platform almost doubled its revenue with roughly 432,000 euro, while the loss position decreased by approximately 40% to now 590,000 euro. To break even, Income calculates with an outstanding portfolio size of around 30 million euro, which could be achieved towards the end of 2025 based on the current trend. In the 9th episode of the Income Insights podcast, which now made its comeback after the summer break, I spoke with Income founder Kimmo about the lenders who will join the platform, changes to the management board, and some adjustments for the early buyback feature, in addition to analyzing their annual report. Another annual report has been published by the agricultural platform LANDE. According to the report, LANDE generated a revenue of 1.6 million euro, which is roughly a 5-fold increase compared to the previous year. On the other hand, LANDE reported a loss of 73,000 euro for 2023, as expenses for employees, IT and marketing increased in parallel with the strong growth in revenue. At the end of the day, I don't see this situation as problematic though, as LANDE still has equity reserves of around 430,000 euros to continue with the current development. In this regard, LANDE is a good example for a growing company where a lack of profitability doesn't need to be unusual or problematic. To wrap up the annual report evaluations, let's take a look at HeavyFinance as well. After posting a loss of 1.1 million euro in 2022, the platform was able to report a profit of 375,000 euro last year. The profitability is a somewhat surprising result, as a company financed with venture capital is usually not aiming for short-term profitability, but rather long-term market growth. As a quick reminder, HeavyFinance raised a total of 4.2 million euro in equity since its origin, including a 3 million euro seed financing in March 2023. In addition to their financial situation, my latest HeavyFinance video also covered some other topics as well, including the quality of their loan portfolio, my personal strategy, and which challenges their green loan product entails. And finally, let's take a look at Debitum as well, where investor assets under management have increased to above 20 million euro for the first time in company history. This development doesn't seem to be coincidence, as the platform has been strongly improving its profile since the change of ownership happened last year, which also encouraged me to rejoin the platform after some personal conversations in Riga. According to my information, there will be new assets in September coming from both Triple Dragon and Evergreen Capital, alongside some already uploaded assets from Sandbox Funding, which are offered in some cases with even up to 13.5%. Therefore, chances seem pretty decent for Debitum to continue its growth trajectory. As my medium-term investment target on Debitum is in the 5-digit range, I deposited another 1,000 euro in August, while additional funds will be deployed in September as well.